I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
We turn now to Mexico, where a federal court has effectively thrown out the government's investigation into the disappearance of 43 college students from Ayotzinapa Teachers School in 2014 and ordered a new investigation. Amnesty International welcomed the ruling as an important advance in the search for truth and justice. Moving forward, the tribunal ordered the creation of a truth commission to oversee a new investigation led by parents of the victims and human rights bodies.
For more, we go to Mexico City, where we're joined by Anabel Hernandez, Mexican investigative reporter. Her latest book, The True Night of Iguala, in which she describes how Mexican soldiers were involved in the disappearance and apparent massacre of the 43 students. Welcome back to Democracy Now!, Anabel. Talk about the significance of this judicial decision.
Excuse me, I didn't hear you very well.
Talk about what the judge decided. Talk about the investigation that has been thrown out.
Okay. Yeah, well, last month, here in Mexico, in Tamaulipas, al north of Mexico, one tribunal of integrated by independent magistrates, they decide to order to the president of Mexico to create one true commission to make a new investigation, a whole new investigation related with the case of the 43 students disappeared on September of 2014 in Iguala Guerrero, in that terrible conditions that we have talked about that before. The tribunal analyzed all the investigation made by the PGR, and they said in all these more than 700 pages of this resolution, they determined that the Mexican government didn't do a good investigation. They said that even exist many depositions, many testimonies, many elements to investigate immediately to the army and to the federal police. The PGR didn't. And they said that this really affect the investigation since the beginning. They also said, Amy, as we have been talking about this before, as you know, I have been investigating this case since October of 2014. I was the first journalist that discovered that in Iguala was the presence of the army and the federal police in all the attacks. As you know, I discovered that exists in Iguala, this C4 is a kind of big office where all the institutions related with the public security as municipal police, state police, army, federal police were all together coordinated that terrible night. In this document, in the resolution of this tribunal, they also are agreed, they affirm that yes, the C4 exists, yes, the army were in charge of this C4 that night, and the army sometimes cut off the communications between the federal police and the army that were together to the municipal police. This means that in some hours of that night, in the hours where occurred the disappear, I mean between 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., in all these hours, in this document, in this resolution, they also determined that all the communications between the C4 and the municipal police were shut down. Even the municipal police couldn't know what were happening because the army took all the control of the C4, as I have been saying since December of 2014, when I published my first article in the magazine Proceso, and when I showed documents that proves that the real institution, the real group in charge that night of Iguala, that coordinate all these things that happened, was not the mayor, José Luis Abarca, was not just the municipal police, was the army who was in charge, and this document shows very determine this very clearly.
We just have 30 seconds, Anabel Hernandez.
The Mexican government, sorry, yes.
We just have 30 seconds. What will happen now? Who will conduct a new investigation?
Well, this tribunal ordered to the president create in 10 days this true commission. The tribunal suggests that this commission should be integrated by relatives of the 43 students, members of the Inter-American Commission of Human Rights, members of this group special that made their own independent investigation since April of 2015 to the last year. And they also suggest that the members of the Argentine foresting team also should be part of this.
Anabel Hernandez, we have to leave it there. Mexican investigative journalist, we thank you for being with us from Mexico City, the true night of Iguala. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermin Shea.